Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a topic that I can almost guarantee you will see on your CUET exam, human-environment interaction. We're going to break down the key ideas, the theories, and the names you absolutely have to know to lock in those marks. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's start with a big question to get our brains working. Think about it. Does a harsh environment like a desert create the camel, forcing life to adapt to its rules? Or can humans just ignore those rules and build a massive, glittering city like Dubai right in the middle of it? The answer to that simple question is the key to this entire chapter. If you stick with me, I promise you'll understand the logic that CUET examiners love to test. And this is exactly why you need to pay close attention. This topic isn't just about memorizing facts. It's an absolute goldmine for those tricky reasoning-based questions. You know the ones. We're talking multiple choice, match the following, all of it. By understanding one central idea, you unlock the ability to answer a whole bunch of different questions. This is about thinking, not just memorizing, and that's how you get a top score. So what is this big central idea? It's really simple. It's the story of us, human beings, and our relationship with the powerful physical world around us. For literally centuries, the biggest minds have been arguing about one thing. Who is in charge? Does nature control us, or do we control nature? Every single theory we're about to cover is just a different answer to that one fundamental question. So let's jump into the very first answer to that question. This is the oldest idea on the block, the old school way of thinking. It's called environmental determinism. Now, the key word here, the one you have to circle and underline, is dictates. Believers in this theory thought that nature is the absolute boss, period. They argued that everything about us, our culture, our technology, our history, how developed we are, is directly controlled by our physical surroundings. It's like nature is the puppet master, and human society is just the puppet, dancing on its strings. And speaking of names you have to know, get your pens out. Ratzel, Ritter, Humboldt, and Huntington. You absolutely must remember these guys. These are the pioneers of determinism, and I can't tell you how often they pop up in Match the Following questions. These are the thinkers who said nature calls all the shots. And this quote, it sums up their entire philosophy perfectly. Man is a product of the Earth's surface. It's this idea that we are literally molded by the land we live on, almost like clay, with very little choice in the matter. It's a really strong and, you could say, pretty rigid point of view. But, of course, the story doesn't end there. As human technology and knowledge started to explode, people began to think, hang on a minute. A new idea came along, and you can think of it as the comeback story. This is where humans strike back. This is possibilism. So if the key word for the last theory was dictates, the key word for this one is choices. Possibilism says, yeah, okay, the environment sets some limits. You can't grow pineapples in Antarctica. But within those limits, humans have a whole range of possibilities to choose from based on our culture, our technology, and our creativity. Nature doesn't command us, it just offers suggestions. And here is the absolute best way to remember the difference. Think of it like this. Determinism says nature is the master giving you orders, but possibilism says nature just provides a menu of options and we, as humans, get to choose what we want to order. One is a command, the other is a choice. It's a game changer. And just like before, you've got some key names to connect with this idea. Vidal de Lablache and Lucien Febvre. These two are the champions of possibilism. And here's a huge exam tip. Remember them as the leaders of the French school of thought. That's a massive keyword you'll want to know. Okay, so we've got two extremes, right? On one side, nature is in total control. On the other, humans have all these choices. So you can probably guess what came next. Someone trying to find a balance, a middle path. And that brings us to our third and final big concept, neo-determinism. This idea, which is also called stop-and-go determinism, is all about balance. It was introduced by a geographer named Griffith Taylor, and he basically said, look, humans are incredibly clever. We can change the environment, but we're not gods. If we push nature too far, we face the consequences. Think climate change, pollution, all the stuff we talk about today. We can move forward, but we have to respect the rules of the game. And Griffith Taylor gave us the perfect analogy for this, and trust me, CUET loves asking about it. It's the traffic light. A red light means nature is screaming, stop. You've hit a limit. An amber light means hold on, assess the situation, be careful. And a green light means, okay, you can go, but go sustainably. It's not a free pass. It's about being smart and responsible. All right, let's lock all of this in your brain for good. Here's your memory trick. Just remember the letters DPN. Say it out loud with me. DPN. D is for determinism, where nature rules. P is for possibilitism, where people choose. And N is for neo-determinism, where nature permits. Simple as that. DPN. You got this. Okay, practice time. Let's see what you've learned. Pause the explainer right now, look at the question, and decide on your answer. Go on, pause it. All right, you back? The correct answer is, of course, C, neo-determinism. The phrase stop and go is the #1 keyword for Griffith-Taylor's middle path theory. It can't be A because that's absolute rule, and it's not B, which is all about human choice, not nature signals.
And here we go, a classic CUET style question. Match the thinker in column A with their theory in column B. Pause it again and give it a shot. Okay, let's check it. Ratzel, our old-school pioneer, matches with determinism. Vidal de la Blache, the leader of the French school, is our guy for possibilism. And that leaves Griffith-Taylor, the man with the traffic light, who gave us neo-determinism. How'd you do?
Okay, listen up. This is super important. These are the traps where students lose easy marks every year, and I don't want that to be you. First, do not mix up determinism and neo-determinism. One is an absolute dictator, the other is like a traffic cop. Second, remember that possibilism does not mean humans can do anything. There are still limits. Third, you have to know the key names. And finally, please understand the difference. Nature's plan is rigid, while nature's permission is a cautious green light. Avoid these traps. All right, let's do a super fast 60-second recap. Ready? Let's go. 1. Determinism. Nature is the boss. Thinker, Ratzel. 2. Possibilism. Nature gives a menu, people choose. Thinker, Vidal de la Blache. 3. Neo-determinism. The middle path, the traffic lights. Thinker, Griffith-Taylor. And your memory check? DPN. Boom. That's the whole chapter. So I've got to ask, how did you do on those 2 practice questions? Drop your score in the comments below. Let's see how we all did. And one last thing for you to think about. When you look at the world today with all our incredible technology, but also our serious environmental problems, which theory do you think fits best? Determinism, possibilism, or neo-determinism? There's no single right answer, but I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks for joining me. Keep up the great work, and I'll catch you in the next one.